Alright, so let's start on our backs today. We'll stretch out nice and long. Let's take a nice full body stretch to begin. Get your shoulder blades settled down. We'll kind of start in like a Shavasana type setting here. Move some props away from my feet. Let the feet flop open, the shoulder blades will settle into the floor. You either turn your palms up, you need a little more grounding today, maybe hands on the belly or one over the heart and one over the belly. We'll feel the body start to settle into the floor. Let's take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. And breathe in. And breathe out. Seal the lips. Inhale. Gentle exhale out the nose. Start to follow the breath in and out of the body, feeling for the subtle rise and fall, the chest, the belly. Relax the space between the eyebrows and the jaw. And usually after a busy day, maybe you've just been feeling a little frazzled during the day, there's kind of like a buzzing energy in the body that will slowly start to settle down. I kind of think of it as like you pop a can of Coke or something, and you have all the bubbles kind of rise up to the top really fast, and eventually the bubbles start to slow down and how fast they pop, and we get a little sizzle, and then it starts to really calm. So that's kind of what we're going for here. We still have all the remnants of our day kind of still at the surface. We're going to slowly let them settle down. Stay here for about 5 more breaths. Start to walk the feet over to the right edge of your mat. Play with crossing either left ankle over right or right over left. Keep the back of the hips settled into the floor. If you want to add a little more in the upper body, reach the arms overhead, grab your left wrist with your right hand and arch that over to the right as well. We'll keep the shoulders and the pelvis relaxed into the floor. You'll feel that long stretch of the left side body. One more breath here. Bring the arms and the legs back to center. Start to walk everything over to the left side. You feel that long line growing through the right side body. Settle the shoulders and the hips back down. Feel how the breath expands all the way into the soft tissue, the ribs. One more breath here. Bring everything back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. A little bit of movement side to side. Feel your low back rest into the floor. We'll keep this right knee squeezed in. Extend your left leg long on the ground. Feel the compression at the right hip crease, the length of the left leg. One more breath here. And we're going to move this right leg into a half happy baby. You can either grab for your big toe or the outside of the foot. We're going to draw this knee down. Feel the resistance of the foot back into the hand. If you find your body rolling to the right, use your left hand and anchor your left thigh down. One more breath here. And release the foot. Set both feet on the ground. Take them kind of wide on your mat. We'll windshield wiper the knees side to side. We'll draw the left knee in. Lengthen the right leg down long. Again, we'll feel the compression at the left hip crease this time. Feel the movement of the hips in opposite directions. One more breath. We'll take your left leg into our half happy baby, grabbing for the foot or the big toe. Knee goes wide. Maybe anchoring your right hip or right thigh down. Let's take notice of how things are feeling on the left hip versus what you felt on the right. Gently release the foot. Draw your knees back in. Take a little bit of movement side to side. Roll over to the left side so you can press your way up. We're going to find hands and knees. If you prefer to have a blanket under your knees, feel free to add a little cushion. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow to begin. Feel for that movement to work from the low spine all the way to the crown of the head. Take your time finding little spaces between each vertebrae and the back of the neck. If you get to any spots that need a little bit more side body movement or a little swirl or a swish, feel free to add those extra movements in. The next time that you're in a rounded cat pose, tuck your toes, lean your hips back about halfway. You're going to feel a stretch through the toes and a little bit more in kind of the mid back. Pause here, one more breath. And then come back to neutral and tuck the toes. If you've got a block handy, we'll use it. Let's start with your left forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Maybe a hand, that right hand to a block. Slide that hand forward, let the head drop against your left arm. Keep the hips up high. You're just going to let the heart, the armpit open toward the floor. Feel that big stretch to that right shoulder and into the upper back. One more breath here. And come back up. We're going to keep working on this right arm. So instead of going straight forward this time, we're going to go at a diagonal. So knife edge of your right hand, sliding toward the upper left corner. You'll drop your right elbow. You can relax the head against your right bicep. Your left arm will support you underneath. And just feel a little different stretch through that right side. Maybe more along the intercostal muscles. One last breath here. And we'll come back up to center. And then one more thing on this right side, we'll open it up. And this time we'll slide it all the way through. Bring onto your right shoulder, your right ear. Again, left arm can be soft. Got lots of different options to play with your left hand. Feel the stretch moving into the back of the right shoulder, between the shoulder blade and the spine. Last back here. The left hand underneath you, press into the floor. We'll open right arm up. And exhale to release. We're going to take a downward facing dog here just to kind of stretch out the legs. We'll lift the hips, pedal out the feet, some movement through those knees, back of the legs. And then we'll bring those knees back down and start working into the left side. So left arm, you're going to reach forward. Right arm will be parallel to the front of your mat. And a long stretch of that left upper back, shoulder. We'll press back up. This time taking it at a diagonal. Knife edge of your left hand sliding toward the upper right. Use your right arms, a little bit more support, forearm into the floor. And all the way back up onto hands and knees. Thread the needle on this side, left arm will lift. Slide it all the way through. Find a good option for your right arm. Drag your right hip back. You'll feel this twist move into the upper back. Bring the right hand back into the floor, press and open, left arm up. And exhale to release. Again, we'll come back to downward facing dog just to stretch out the backs of the legs. Take that pressure off the knees. You're going to step the feet as wide as your mat or maybe off your mat. Walk your hands all the way back, take them to a wide leg forward fold. We'll use this as a way to just get some length in the spine. You might lace the fingers behind the head, or you can grab opposite elbows. Find something that works for you. You can even add a gentle sway here. Release the hands. We'll bring your feet back onto your mat. Walk the hands forward. Let's find child's pose. Bring your big toes together. We'll stretch everything out. Feel free to add a block under the head, or if you want a bolster. Take one more breath here. And we'll gently come back up. All right, let's swing the legs around. We'll come to a seat. And we'll take a simple cross-legged seat of your choice. And keep some blocks handy next to you. So we start with just a seated side stretch from here. Like crawl those left fingers out, either onto the floor, to your block. Take your right arm up and over. Just be mindful that that right sitting bone doesn't leave the floor. We've got lots of heights for the block that you can work with. Just allow for this top arm to feel long and heavy. One more breath here. Move this right arm back out of the way. Sit up nice and tall. Pause here for a moment. You're ready for the other side. We'll walk your right hand out to the side. Left arm will sweep up and over. Use your breath to your advantage here. Each inhale is going to give you a little bit more space, a little more press of the lungs into the ribs. You'll feel that expansion, a little bit of a stretch. Got one more breath here. Move the left arm out of the way, come back to center and pause. Notice the sensations on the sides of the body, along the spine as everything realigns. I'm going to switch across to the legs. Let's float your right arm up toward the ceiling. We're going to bend the elbow and bring your fingers over toward your left ear. Drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. And just from the starting point, you notice how things are feeling. If they're a little tight on the side of the neck. Maybe you feel a little bit more of the pull in the front of the chest where the neck connects into your collarbone. If that's the case for you, maybe you bring your left hand just below your collarbone, right into the flesh. Push in towards your chest wall. Drag the tissue down. You feel a little bit more stretch on the front of the neck. And if you're noticing you need a little more stretch on the back side of the neck, what you can do is tip your chin closer towards your armpit and maybe play with extending your left arm out. Got a couple ways to kind of manipulate the same stretch here to access a different part of the neck. Keep your right shoulder relaxed. Try to focus the stretch on that left side. Take one more inhale. We'll keep the head tipped to the right, but release the hand. Just slowly roll your chin down toward your chest. And we keep it going all the way over to the left side. I'm going to roll it all the way back down to center. And then all the way over to the right side. And then we'll lift the head up to center. Find a little pause. We'll start to sit up on the left side, left arm up. Fingers will find that right ear. Drop your left ear toward the left shoulder. Again, take a moment, just feel where you're already noticing some tightness, some resistance. Those options if you need a little bit more opening on the front side, back side. Might be different from left to right. One more breath in. Release your hands. Slowly roll the chin down towards center, toward the chest. Keep going all the way over to the right side. And back down through center. All the way over to the left side. Lift the head back up through center and pause. And from here, we're going to stay in cross legs, but we're going to lift up the knees a little. So you're going to stay crossed at the ankles. You're going to wrap your arms around your legs and hook the hands. We're going to keep your arms really relaxed, shoulders really relaxed here. Use your knees, push into the arms, drop the chin toward the chest. So you should feel with the push of the knees into the arms, it's kind of pulling the shoulder blades a little wider. You feel some stretch through the center of the spine going outward. Take one more breath here. And come back up. Release the hands. Take the hands behind you. Separate your feet. We're going to open the chest here, windshield wiper the knees side to side. And we're going to do that one more time, crossing at the ankles. Wrap the arms around the same. I'm going to switch whichever hand was in front. Soften the shoulders, let the chin drop in, and use the knees pushing into the arms. So we're creating a little tension using those knees. You can control how much of it you want or need. And then the breath is doing a fair amount of work. Each time that you breathe in, the back body expands, puffs up and out. Two more breaths here. And come all the way back up. And again, take the hands behind, plant the feet wide, lift the chest, windshield wiper the knees. Okay, so from here, we're going to set up for a really supported pigeon. I'm going to use a bolster under my hips. If you don't have a bolster, you can do a double fold of blankets.
Hey, Terry, we lost your sound.
I'm going to try to run sound from my computer. Is that working? Okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. All right. So we're going to set up on our backs into a supported. I'm going to try to run sound from my computer. Is that working? Okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Now I've got like double sound working. So we're going to set up on our backs into a supported. Are y'all now hearing double? I'm going to try to run sound from my computer. Is that working? Okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. I'm going to try to mute my computer. Is sound working now? Okay. That is incredibly disruptive. Sorry about that. All right. If you don't have a bolster, you're going to double blanket it. If you do have a bolster, we're going to take advantage of the bolster. You're going to roll your spine down. You're going to bring feet together. Knees will fall open. If you got some blocks, I would add them under your legs. And let the spine rest. Nothing like all the calm that I just built up, getting frazzled, and now I gotta bring it all the way back down. Feel the rise and the fall, coming back into those slow breaths. Relax through the hips, let the blocks hold your legs here. Take 2 more breaths here. Move the blocks out from underneath. Just gonna set them out of the way. Roll over to your left side. Let's move this bolster out of the way. You can bring it all the way down next to you. Extend your left leg long. Let's cross this right knee on top of the bolster. We'll open right arm behind you, coming into our twist. Stay here for one more breath. Roll onto the back. Let's go ahead and move our props over to the other side. Take our twist. Left leg crossing over. Right leg going long. This left arm open out. Relax through the belly and the low back. One more inhale here. And return everything back to center. Reset your hips. Let's draw the knees in. You can take them wide. You can take them into happy baby. Feel your low back relax into the floor. And any final little movements that your body might need or want. We'll start to set up for Shavasana. If you're still feeling some low back yuck, you might bring something underneath your knees or thighs, whether that's your bolster or roll up blanket. If you have a wall handy, maybe take those legs up the wall as an option. Give yourself plenty of support under the head, on top of the body. Ooh, finding all my props. Allow the body to start to rest down. Attempt to fold this. You've got your legs going long, let them flop open. Your arms are next to you, turn the palms up. Get the shoulder blades relaxed. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths here together. Full inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. All the way up. Let everything go. Gently start to deepen the breath. Invite small movements back into the fingers, into the toes. Move through your wrists and your ankles. Let's reach the arms long, take a full body stretch, yawn, move your jaw around. Just roll onto your left side, hugging your knees into the chest. Give yourself a moment here, feeling the floor underneath you. When you're ready, we'll use the hands, press your way up to a comfortable seat, and keep the eyes closed. Let's bring palms to the center of the heart. Sit nice and tall through your spine, soften your shoulders. We'll seal our practice tonight with a single Om. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh this breath out. Inhale to chant. Namaste. Technology has all of its fun things.